It's the finals of the men's 70 to 74-year-old 100-meter freestyle at the U.S. Masters National Championships. A few in the crowd know that the man in the middle lane is world record holder Jeff Farrell. Even fewer are aware of his backstory.
Do people here know who you are? Do people here know what you did that year?
Some people do.
The year was 1960, and Farrell was the Olympic gold medal favorite for both the 100 and 200-meter freestyle in the Rome Olympics. 3 days after setting new American records in both events, and just 6 days before the Olympic trials, he was rushed to the hospital for an emergency appendectomy.
And this was back in the day when it wasn't laparoscopic. I mean, they cut you.
They cut me open because it was pretty hot, and they didn't want to. They could have done a smaller incision, but they made a large one because they didn't want to disturb the hot appendix.
Doctors predicted that it would take at least 6 weeks for Farrell to return to competition. The U.S. Olympic Committee met quickly and offered an unprecedented opportunity to make the team in a special time trial weeks later. He declined the offer.
How hard was that to say thank you, but no thank you?
It was automatic. I would have had to take somebody else off the team in order to make the team. They were giving me a chance to try 2 or 3 weeks later, and then I would swim against the sixth qualifier out of 6, and if I beat him, he'd be off the team. That's not right.
3 days after surgery and just 3 days before the trials, Farrell was lying in a hospital bed when his coach suggested he visited the hospital gym and then casually said,
"By the way, there's a pool in the basement of the hospital that the nurses use. If you feel good after dry land, maybe you could go there tomorrow." So I started the 3rd day, dog paddling in pain.
The next day, he began to take full strokes, and the day after that, just 6 days after emergency surgery, he swam in the Olympic trials. Wrapped in yards of surgical bandages, in pain every time he breathed, unable to perform the standard racing dive return, Farrell competed in the 100 free, needing to finish first or second to make the team.
I know this because I was there. When I was 9 years old, my father drove our family to Detroit for the Olympic trials. In fact, this is the program from that night that I've saved all these years. And inside, in my father's handwriting, the finals of the 100-meter freestyle, with Farrell finishing 3rd.
The day after I didn't make the team in the 100, the fellow who made 2nd beat me by 1/10 of a second, came up to me and said, "I'm not going, you're going to take my place on the team, you're a faster swimmer." That was Bruce Hunter. And he asked the coach, and the coach said absolutely no. I said absolutely no. But he made a sincere offer to give me his place on the team.
Farrell would have one more opportunity. If he finished in the top 6 in the 200, he would make the Olympic team on a relay. He finished 4th and was off to Rome, where just a few weeks later he anchored both the freestyle and the medley relays to gold medals and world records. His splits would have won gold in both the individual 100 and 200. If it sounds like it should be a book, it will be. Farrell is now working on a memoir, My Olympic Story, Rome 1960. But his story hardly ends in Rome. He did quit swimming for 20 years, but returned to competition in the early 1980s and has so far broken nearly 30 Masters world records. He still has the abdominal scar from 1960 and has added a couple of others.
I got one here too, you might have noticed.
What was that?
That was open heart surgery 5.5 years ago, and so I'm healthier. That's one reason I'm swimming better, because I've got new, bypasses and new aortic valve, and so I got a better system inside me working to help me.
Jeff Farrell, one of the greatest Olympic champions of all time, still going strong with no plans to slow down.
It feels good to be able to swim and compete with these guys. It's a lot of fun, and I know it's good for me.